Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's having a great week this week, and hopefully, everyone tuned in to the weekly watch list that was posted, the breakdown that we had, and man, I really hope that you guys did take some of these profits. Some of these swing trades were amazing. Some of them are still valid too. The day trades, they're great too. Whatever you decided to do, congratulations. If you didn't, at least please consider this as a lesson to learn from, and then also the what you can take back into the next week, right? Because we're going to come at it again with another weekly watch list, and we're just going to continue to provide a lot of great value for you guys, so you guys can become self-sufficient and be able to take these own trades on your own. And the reason we have this, let me just clarify something very important for you guys. Being self-sufficient, what that means, it doesn't just mean that you can go off and go do your own thing and then create your own game plan and then create your own trade, right? It's not necessarily just that. It's part of it, yes. But also being self-sufficient is also being able to come and look at a chart, or just in general any watch list that is posted out there, or anything that's involved with a stock and a pattern and a day trade, a scalp, a swing trade, and you're able to come in and identify exactly what that person is talking about. The level doesn't have to be perfect, right? So for example, if I told you guys RTY right here at 303, I mean at 2301, like that's my long trigger. But somebody else says, 2305, you should be able to identify that both of the watch list are basically calling for a trend change and for a long trigger just to go long, right? That becomes part of being self-sufficient. It doesn't mean that you can go off and again do your own thing and you have to do your own thing. It just literally just says that you can identify and be able to discern between right and wrong and what's going to be proper setup and all that stuff. So remember that, all right? So just a little pro tip for you guys to understand what self-sufficient means. And again, um, everything that I break down right here should be more than enough knowledge for you guys to be able to take these trades with or without a Discord server out there. If you guys are watching this YouTube video, then you're probably questioning what this is all about. What this is all about today, and what I want to provide for you guys, is talk about the volume and the importance of being able to identify where those points come in and how valid they are, right? So volume is the number one thing that I like to look at whenever I'm in a trade, whenever I'm looking for a breakout, whenever there's volatility, any news catalyst. I mean, anything like of that nature. I want to be able to look at the volume. Now, you guys might say, like, there's all kinds of volume indicators, and that's all good, all right? I'm not taking anything away from that. What I have is just a basic, in the background, these volume bars here. They're just blue. They're nothing too fancy, nothing that tells me like there's more volume in one candle than the other. There's no indicator here that's going to tell me that, the volume is buying volume, that you should be getting in. I don't have that. But I know there's a lot of tickers out there. I mean, a lot of indicators out there that do show a volume profile. And I think that's a good thing. Some traders like to use the volume profiles on, like, I think it's Trading View, and they like to use them to their advantage, and that's all good. So remember that volume is good, but when you're using it as an indicator, I don't really recommend. But it's always good to have, right? So we're going to look at a couple of things here, and I'm going to show you guys how I personally identify some things when it comes to having a naked chart and still being able to identify good volume versus bad volume, right? So first of all, I guess it's a lot of it's going to depend on the pattern. So in this case, what I want to talk about is RTY, because RTY is a future that I've been talking about in the past videos since we started making these YouTube videos for you guys. I've been talking a lot about of RTY and airlines. I've been telling you guys that on a consistent basis that RTY is going to be the next future that's going to be carrying the market. It's going to carry the market because the airlines are a lot behind as well, and there's a lot of recovery for airlines, right? Airlines financials are doing great, but airlines is the other sector that just hasn't blown up. Okay, they are still being backed up by a lot of the COVID stuff. I mean, you guys can go do your DD on this. Let me just show you guys. This thing is just getting hammered. Like there's nothing here that says buy me, right? But for an investor point of view, a lot of the airlines are at a good buy level for a long-term hold, because if you think about it, airlines are not really going anywhere. Airlines are still around. People are still traveling. People are still going on airplanes to, go places and vacations and, etc. So airlines are going to be the next piece that's going to be driving the market, and all it is like, make sure you guys start buying some shares, or consider buying some leaps and things like that, right? Not financial advice. Also know that what you're getting yourself into, you see value in, and you just don't go out there just buy everything just because somebody said so, right? So again, do your own due diligence. So with that being said, I know that RTY is a small cap, it's the Russell, and it does carry a lot of sentiment, in a lot of the airlines, financials, healthcare, small caps, things like AMC, tickers out there. So be aware that those tickers can potentially run with the IWM. If you go look at these RTY, IWM is the ETF. If you go look, a lot of the tickers, they're at the bottom levels and they're starting to trend back up. So the one thing that I look for here is, because we've been consolidating for such a long time, that we actually had this like pennant pattern here, symmetrical or triangle, whatever you want to call it, squeeze right here. I don't care what you call it, but everybody else out there who's looking at this specific future had the same type of setup. And everybody out there knew that this was going to be a pattern break. First of all, when a pattern breaks, on the smaller time frames, you look for volume, because volume comes in and pushes it aggressively. And what I'm going to do right now is show you an example on the 15-minute, and I'm going to go over to shop, and this is something that I personally traded today, just because I saw a nice little pattern right on the 15. Maybe you're wondering, like, well, where did you see the pattern? All right, so this is why it's important, right? So whenever you see a pattern, you want some volume to come in intraday, and to help you to be able to scalp the specific trade, but not also be able to scalp, but also keep that same level as a useful level for the next day. Okay, now let me explain why. Here, if you noticed, the volume increased. Okay, we did have we hit the nice resistance right here, so shop ended up trending up with some good volume here. So see at the open how we just started trending up. Once we started trending up, we hit that resistance, everybody took profit. There was a doji candle right there, and it smacked it all the way down. My question is, why did we get volume intraday? We got the same volume that we almost did right at the open. Okay, if anything, whoever was in this trade, they probably added to their position right here. Okay, what happened here is it brought it back up instead of selling off. So faking out anybody who would try to grab puts, this thing actually pushed up. All right, this is where the pattern came in play, and this is where it caught my attention, and I was able to day trade this actually. So look what happened here. All right, nice little pattern. Basically what this is on the smaller time frame is a rally based rally. The rally here happened right there. Okay, so we broke this 1527 and we hit the high of day at 1544. That's exactly what we did with this specific play. Now that's exactly where I got in as well. So this this volume here was a confirmation for me to go long. Maybe you're asking, well, why didn't you get in here? I didn't have to. All I did was set my alerts right here and then set the bottom alerts. As you can see, I still have them. They haven't hit, so it's not a put play, and my stop loss would have never hit. And also the put entry would have never hit because we are in a bullish market. So the move here for Shop ended up busting through right here with two 15-minute candles. And that's all it takes. Anybody out there who trades Shop knows that this thing can give you some heavy profits within one candle. And that's all you really need. If you took the time to, wait for this specific setup and you waited all day for this, this could have grown your account by a lot. Okay. These plays give you range from like $200 to $1,000 gains right here with this specific play. I actually ended up taking about 80%. So I got in for a weekly contract for a 1530. Once they hit this 1544, I was already trailing my position, and I was making sure that it didn't pull back aggressively, because had it pulled back aggressively, I think the data would have killed me, and then I would have sold it for less, right? So I sold into strength. I was able to take profits, and I did very well. One, because I knew that the unusual volume came in. Two, we had a nice pattern and it did not bring it down. Three, the next volume came in once we started hitting that high. So what that told me is that somebody out there was taking profits, right? So that is the importance of understanding the good volume. All right. When you see these spikes intraday, always mark them. Mark that same level where we picked up on the volume, right? Now, let me just show you one that's actually live right now. And that's actually moving, and it got some good volume towards the end. People always wonder, like, I guess the first question is always like, did we get news? It's like, that is my first question, because if there's some crazy volume, I automatically go and check the news. It is very, very important to check the news. You never just want to get into a trade just because there's an intense amount of volume. You want to get in also because you understand the play. And if it's a good catalyst and you want to play it, by all means, right? So here we consolidated here for such a long time, all morning, basically all day from that drop from DAL. And then look at the aggressive volume that we have. I like that we have this aggressive volume, because now that we have this, now we can look at the hour chart and then find some good levels into tomorrow and use this. As long as we can hold here, what this is telling me is that this is a rally-based rally, and your retest right here on the bottom. And then if we can continue, we're going to see some more candles go like this. Now, granted, it's going to be the weekend, so I'm telling you guys now that I am most likely going to swing DAL again. Okay. And if you guys don't know, this was the buy the dip level for DAL, and it ran all the way to this 4140. So in case you guys got in, good job. So yeah, that was another piece that I wanted to show you guys. And then let me show you another one that I actually traded today, and the one ticker that I've been trading the past 2 to 3 weeks. We've been trading FDX. So we actually traded FDX from this 230 all the way to this top of 240, came back in, got inside right here, and then traded the rest of these calls and then sold the positions today. Okay, so let's look at FDX. You see the volume profile already? Look at the lowering volume right here while we're creating this pattern. It created a nice demand, and while it created the demand here, we have a good risk to reward play to the top side, right? Let me just zoom out real quick, just so you guys can see. Look at this nice downtrend. It still has a lot of room to cover to the top, right? So FDX is going to be on the watch list for the next like 2 to 3 months. As long as we're still trending back up and we have some good red candles and a good staircase pattern, then FDX is going to be the top play into the next coming months. So make sure you guys don't miss out. So anyways, we do have a lot of reward to the top side. We did have this like cup and handle flag pattern, channel pattern, whatever you want to call it, squeeze on the 4-hour time frame, and we do have this gap on the daily all the way into that like 248 or 250. I have my target of 250 just because it's a psychological thing. Once the gap is filled, I think a lot of people are going to come in, try to consider taking long over 250. So anyways, I've been trading since the bottom, so I don't care what these guys say. We're already in long plays. So look how the volume had increased right here. Okay, this is a good good way for you guys to see how things are being created and how things are running and how much potential they still have, right? This is why the volume profile is very important when you're looking at it and where we're slowing down, why are we slowing down, and when the volume comes in, what is happening. Okay, so here is the piece that we finally ended up breaking above, and here is that level where we got tons of volume towards the end, and towards the end, that's when the swing trade was happening, and we gapped up here, and we ended up taking profits around 240.40, 240.50 area. And then look right here. So everybody ended up taking profits right here. You can see the amount of volume that came in. And then all of a sudden we see lowering volume all the way down here. Okay, all the way to this bottom, right? So I'm just pointing out the size of the volume bars, right? And then we're slowing down into creating a pattern. When this is creating a pattern, when we break out, that's when the volume will come in. And look what happened yesterday. All right, yesterday into today. So the yesterday closing candle ended up getting a lot more volume, and then today at the opening candle got the an extra amount of volume because everybody wanted to trade the breakout over that 241. So anybody who missed the play down here, you know, too bad if you guys didn't see it, the previous videos where we talked about FTX, and now you missed it, and then now you were able to trade it today. I hope so. I hope you guys really did trade this. So anybody who missed this, even the entry yesterday, ended up getting in today, and they took it for a nice day trade, which the swing trade is already up very big, taking profits in between, trading weekly contracts and all that stuff, right? So the volume here is still good, and now we're just going to look for an increase of volume and continue to increase in volume and hold steady. If we can hold steady and increase at the same time, I think FTX has a great probability that it'll continue to the top side and continue keep getting bought up on the smaller time frames, right? So everything about this play was amazing. The volume profiles was the one that kind of helped us out as well. As you can see here, look at the open, it was aggressive. I actually ended up going heavy here, and I took profits right here. Even for the swing trade, I'm out of my position, I'm tucking in my profits, and then heading into some ODTs tomorrow, right? So that's the importance of the volume and how to look for it. Okay, guys, so just a couple more things. All right, I'm going to point out RTY. I'm going to go back into this ticker and explain to you guys the importance of that breakout. Look at the volume, how it's increasing. The breakout of this, what I want to continue to see is rising volume into these next few weeks. Why? Because it's going to continue to break out. The breakout's already confirmed. We're closing above. We have some good volume. So if we go on the 4-hour time frame, you guys see it. I hope you guys see it already. Look at the increase in volume. So the volume had increased aggressively. It's been increasing since we've been here. So as you can see, even with the lowering volume brought it down. And then we're at like a nice equal amount of volume, but it's still aggressive, and there's still enough volume to bring this up. Because it's doing this, I am still going to look for this higher volume and to continue to keep on coming, because now the breakout is in play. And since the breakout is in play, you're going to get a lot more people being attracted to this specific play and continue to keep on trading this, right? So the volume is very good, guys, all right? Don't ever come in here and expect that volume is not good. Volume is good. Sometimes it can go against us, sometimes it will be with us, right? So like a perfect example is something like mRNA, had some earnings today, and then the volume is aggressive. What this is telling you is that a lot of people sold. They got smacked down for earnings, plain and simple, but now everything is coming on down. What you want to look for now is for the dead cat bounce. The dead cat bounce for mRNA to just kind of trend back up while the volume cools off. So this volume bar is going to show like lowering volume. Once the volume increases, that's when you're going to know that if we're either going to break above or break below for the trend change back down to the bottom. This thing actually has a lot of room to the downside. I personally don't think mRNA is worth $300 in my opinion, but again, I am not a professional analyst or a financial advisor, so it doesn't matter what I think, right? So a lot of good plays out there, guys. Make sure you guys are watching those volume profiles intraday, and even when things are at all-time high. Look at the intense amount of volume on Nvidia today. The volume came in aggressively over this 270 from the open, and this just ran all the way to 313. That is an aggressive move for Nvidia. But look at the volume, how aggressive it's being. It's very important that when you guys see aggressive volume like this, be aware that the move is going to be heavy. So if it's going to be heavy, make sure you guys are trailing your position, because the move will be aggressive. It will not be normal. All right. High volume comes in, abnormal movement comes in, volatility kicks in, and the IV on your contracts juice up like crazy. And it just goes crazy. It's like the option traders dreamland, where IV increases crazy, things pump up, and next thing you know, you're super profitable. You're over 100%, you're 1,000% on your contracts, and like everything about it just makes sense, right? So be aware. Volume profile is something amazing that you guys should be looking for intraday. Okay. Walmart actually didn't go with too much volume, but either way, it's still a good one. So keep in mind, guys, RTY still top play. And I just wanted to give you guys a little more tips on some of the volume profiles. So hopefully this kind of helps you guys. And let me just show you guys Amazon real quick. Same thing. Amazon right at the open, aggressive volume. Look at the aggressive volume. It kind of slowed down. Midday, we came in again with some good volume, and then people ended up taking profit. So like I said, a lot of good volume in the market. The volume before close, heading into the next day, kind of gave it that conviction to keep on trending back up. So yeah, guys, I really hope this helps you guys. Please make sure that you guys are looking at the volume. And you guys pay attention, please. All right. Don't be scared of the volume. Make sure we have volume when we're trading breakouts. Make sure we have volume when we're at these dip buys and breaking these little patterns, just to give you a lot more confirmation. Right. So if you guys use a fancy tool indicator that shows you volume, by all means, use it. I personally don't. I just have these blue bars in the background that are nothing too fancy. Just some like stock, you know, some like stock stuff that you would have, like your stock tires on your car or whatever. Nothing too fancy, just some normal stuff. So yeah, guys, I will let you guys go, but I do have something cool coming for you guys into next week. I'm going to be starting a A through Z playbook for you guys, starting from scratch, from what is a stock to, you know, setting up your platform, to being able to, you know, create a watch list and all these things. I'm going to keep it very simple and basic. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know. Tag us, Instagram, Conservative Collectors, Discord servers, whatever you guys got to do, get a hold of us and give us any new ideas that you guys would like for any YouTube video out there. So yeah, guys, good luck next week. Good luck tomorrow. Tomorrow's ODTE. Don't go too crazy. Don't go too heavy. Be aware that ODTEs can be pretty rewarding, but also can pretty much kill your profits. So careful, guys. So yeah, I'll let you guys go. Please like and subscribe, guys, to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Look out for the next weekly watch list as well. Don't miss out on those amazing swing plays. All right, guys, have a good one.